Welcome to one of Minnesota's great hockey rinks, Aldrich Arena, for a non-conference boys hockey matchup tonight as the Maple Grove Crimson take on the Hill Murray Pioneers in a top 10 matchup. Good evening, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Dan Ficken. And Dan, these teams play great schedules within their conferences, but it's also nice to get a matchup like this just to see where you stack up against really one of the premier programs over the years in Hill Murray.
Oh boy, yeah. I mean, I'm looking at all the banners here in tradition at Aldrich Arena, you know, and we're looking at Maple Grove, number 4 ranked team in the state. We got a dandy of a game. It's probably the premier game in the state tonight here. Everybody's watching it, and boy, I'm looking forward to this one.
Hill Murray last year, a rare 500 season, although they did still make the state tournament this year, bouncing back and playing very well. Maple Grove obviously has had a great year, but they're coming off a loss to Blaine. I think they want to get the taste of that one out of their mouth and come out here against this Pioneers team. Yeah, they really do. I mean, they're 5-3 in their last 8 games, but you know, they're playing a rough schedule. They're not too concerned about it. I think they do want to get it out of their mouth a little bit, but they're playing good this year, and then this is the type of schedule they're playing. They're playing to get ready to go to state, period, okay? And they're going to play Blaine. They're going to lose a few. They're playing Hill Murray. They might lose this one too, but they're working to get better. And the way you get better is by playing the Hill Murrays, the Blaines, the Grand Rapids, the Moorheads, the Edinas. So, I mean, and Hill Murray just came off a 2-game set against, Edina. They're fine with that. That's what they want to do. That's the way they get better. Let's talk about key players to look at in tonight's contest, starting with the visiting Crimson and a guy who's really burst on the scene, Justin Janicki. Boy, he's having a heck of a year. He's got 32 points. He's got a power play goal. He's kind of stepped up this year more so than they thought he would. He's a good two-way player, got great speed, which is kind of the token of this whole Crimson team. They're fast, man. They can move. And he's really gotten the puck on the net, and he's really put it in the net. And that's kind of been the way he's risen to the top this year. Hill Murray's a little bit short-handed tonight. Lucas Wallen will be centering their first line this evening, their second leading scorer. Their top scorer, Mr. Strobel, out tonight. So Wallen's going to have a little bit more on his shoulders than usual even, and he's a good one. Yeah, he's got 19 points, but he's got 2 power play goals. So he's going to have to step up into the first-line power play. But, you know, again, he's another two-way player. And the funny thing about Hill Murray, they're all kind of two-way players. He works well within the system. They're a young team. He's stepped up, and they all, when you look at the whole lineup, they're all pretty even across the board as far as goals and points and stuff. But you'll see him step up, and we'll call his name out a lot. He's quite a quick player. All right, we'll see how Maple Grove fares in this one on the road against a good Hill Murray team, the Pioneers and the Crimson, coming up next here on CCX.
What makes your community feel like home? Is it knowing what's happening in your neighborhood, or when people know your name? Connections make us a community. For more than 30 years, Northwest Community Television has connected citizens, neighbors, even sports fans through video. As life gets busier than ever, we will still offer you a connected community experience through CCX Media, so you can stay connected to the place you call home.
Welcome back here to Aldrich as the Pioneers and Crimson get set for puck drop here tonight. See, they both have fared very well so far this year, and both in the top 10. Familiar spot for Hill Murray, and I think Maple Grove, fair to say, you know, would like to get to the point where they're year in and year out in that kind of a position. They've certainly had some good teams lately, and they want to be one of the teams that people mention when you talk about good teams, you know, every year.
Well, and they've started a good tradition. Now they're ranked number 4 this year, and get a good chance to look at the goaltenders here. Parker Slotsby. He's kind of earned a spot here. He's 5-0-0 and 1.80 GAA with a .914 save percentage, and he's actually starting the competition now. And he's earned a start tonight against Hill Murray. 1.
And Remington Keppel has had a good season, good career. He's a goalie that's good enough to steal a game for you along the way too.
Looking forward to a really good game. Both teams very disciplined, good speed. Both similarly young too, Jay. A lot of sophomores. We'll see a lot of sophomores playing in this game. Both teams only have 6 seniors on each squad, so they're growing, and the futures look bright for both these teams. So looking forward to a really good battle tonight.
Kyle Kukkonen wins the opening draw, and we are underway. A bouncing puck sent into the Pioneer zone. Crimson trying to win it back here, but Brett Oberle up with it there for the Pioneers. They squeeze it out to center. Here comes Wallen up the right side. Tips it in deep. Wallen spinning away from a check and goes back to the point. That one thrown wide of the net. At the point, flipped in toward the net by Brett Oberle. And now the Crimson able to break it out with Kyle Kukkonen. Drops it over left side. Now Kukkonen getting it back. Pretty cool first line as you get the sophomore Trevor Kukkonen playing with his older brother, the senior Kyle, or excuse me, the other way around. Trevor, the senior, and Kyle, the sophomore, and then also the young freshman Janicki. So dumped on in. Slotsby will stop it here for the Crimson. They relay it back and around now. Chris Kernan's pass. Bouncing off the stick there of Sam Jacobs, and the Pioneers able to work it out. Kind of a feeling out process these first couple shifts here, get everybody a chance to get their legs going.
Crimson have rebounded well in the first period, though. They got their legs pretty quick. They've outscored their opponents 19-6 in the first period. That tends to be their best period of the game.
Long bank pass ahead. Sam Jacobs up with it here for Maple Grove. Waits for some help as they were changing behind him. Pass hits the side of the net there as now Tyler Oakland. A little back and forth as they work it in deep along the wall here. Oakland drop it back to the point now. Ethan Elias sending it back down as he didn't have an angle to go at the net. Circling out front, and then the puck over skated briefly, so they dump it down deep again for Tyler Oakland. Oakland getting pinned up there as they come off the wall with it again now. Brandon Reller, a nice move, but that shot never made it to the net.
Well, the Crimson with a nice possession game here. Their forechecking is working well, but they're just holding on to the puck, not letting the Pioneers get a touch of it.
Elias sending it back the other way as Hill Murray making a quick change. Kyle Kukkonen in on the forecheck there as he battles with Seamus O'Regan.
Crimson almost caught the Pioneers in the line change there. Outmanned it, but they got it off quick enough.
Thrown in by Nick Latvala and stopped there by Keppel, and he is going to hang on here, force a face-off. So pretty good possession early for the Crimson. There's a look at Bill Lechner, 22nd season as Hill Murray coach and assistant before that. And you see 13 state tournaments and a sparkling record. He is giving up the athletic director position after this school year in the middle of next summer, but is planning to continue coaching hockey for at least another couple of years. He's been a longtime baseball coach at Hill Murray as well, and certainly you'd have to put his name when you talk about the greats of Minnesota high school hockey coaching.
Yep. Very classy gentleman, too. He's done a marvelous job with the kids here at Hill Murray, and it was just a treat to talk to tonight before the game.
Lucas Wallen, a nice move off the wall, showing a little bit of that burst to the net, and Slotsby able to make the stop there for the Crimson.
So far, it's been the Crimson's game so far. They've dominated so far, and all of a sudden, Wallen's line comes out to the first line and kind of responded here now. So we'll see if they kind of get back to playing their game here.
Oberle sending it ahead to Wallen, but then taken away by the Crimson. Spencer Dahlquist trying to dump it in, but misfired. Now they get it in deep. Oberle back to pick it up here and sends it around to Joe Quast. Now Wallen coming hard up the left side. It's cut off there, but makes a nice move and throwing it across, but tipped away by Henry Nelson. Speaking of those young sophomores, Nelson, a very key component as a defenseman for the Crimson as a 10th grader. And we heard about this group coming up for Coach Berglund's crew and how well they've done in youth hockey and all. And boy, they're showing it this year, no doubt.
Well, that AA crew, Bantam, was the state champion, and there's a whole slew of them on this squad right now. And they're showing to tell what Coach Berglund said too. They just need some experience. They make some mental mistakes here in the losses to Blaine and Andover. But they're growing, and they're expecting big things out of this crew this year. They're not waiting till next year. They're thinking they can get it this year.
Crimson reverse it here, and now Oakland getting it ahead onto the stick of Ian Barber, who now falls. Oakland following up, but he's checked, and that pass just got away. Dump back down to the corner here. Coach Berglund was saying that Hill Murray, by their standards, not a particularly big team this year. And we're seeing that they still take the body for sure, but they don't maybe have some of the thumpers that they've had sometimes.
Yeah, it has surprisingly not been a very physical game at all.
Oakland getting it ahead, and then he's knocked off the puck as the bank pass comes ahead to Luke Reifenberger, and he gets it in deep. Neither goalie's really been tested at all so far in this one.
Both teams play pretty good disciplined defense, even with young defensemen. Right now, Maple Grove's playing 3 of their top D are sophomores.
Nice little give and go here, and then back, and Kyle Kukkonen didn't get a lot on that one. And Keppel able to close the glove hand over that. So face-off coming up in the Pioneer zone, 11:22 to go. See the nice passing in short territory here, and they tried to get it back.
Might have probably wanted to get a shot a little earlier. It's interesting, both teams giving up less than 30 shots on goal to the other team. Amazingly, Hill Murray, they're averaging giving up only 16 shots to their opponents on their own goal.
Back out to the point, a long one there, directed aside by Keppel. Flick to the line, and then knocked down on the way out. There's a shot attempt that's deflected up and over and into the netting as Henry Eischen taking that attempt for the Pioneers. The defenseman got a stick on it, so the draw coming in the Crimson zone. I don't think I'm alone in this, Dan, but I apologize. My voice obviously coming and going a little bit here tonight, so bear with me all night long.
'Tis the season.
Well, and Charlie Strobel, one of the key players for the Pioneers, out with illness, and I know it's kind of going around, and a little bit of a coming and going with the voice for me tonight. Here's Kyle Kukkonen throwing it in. Keppel couldn't quite reach it. Chipped out to center by Oberle, but then Crimson come right back with it. Kyle Kukkonen had it popped away there by Oberle.
Well, it's going to be tough. You know, if you look at both these teams, usually they're offensive powerhouses, and you know both of them are over 3 goals a game averaging, but close to 4. But both these goalies are very, very good. I think it's going to be a very low-scoring game tonight, especially the way both teams play defense.
Oberle had it knocked away, and here come the Crimson back the other direction. Kostelecki, and he is pinned to the wall, and then got a nice stick in there to get the puck free again. Now tipped into the Crimson zone. Elias back to pick it up. Got it around now to Jacobs, and ahead it comes to Kernan, but Kernan unable to get that one past initially anyway, but a follow-up by Kostelecki. Kostelecki tried to go to the point with it, but fanned on it. Now they get it back out. And around the horn to Elias. That one tipped wide, then a centering pass comes all the way back through.
You can see here, Jay, where both teams there's no spacing. I mean, you catch a pass, the D is right there, or they close the space on. Even the forwards are back checking good enough too. But both teams support each other too, so even if the pass goes all right or gets checked off, they're supported by another offensive player coming through. I mean, both teams are playing well within their systems.
Ben Leafblad has a stick knocked out of his hands, and then he comes back hard with a check. Battle for the puck behind the Pioneers net. They end up with it. Joe Paladuchik getting it ahead now. Out to center it comes. Latvala throwing it in on a bounce. Ben Leafblad playing it behind the net. Puck tip free, and Leafblad a turnaround try, and off the glove that time of Keppel. Just kept in. Now they play it down deep to the corner. And tipped out to center, back to gather it there, Latvala. But they turn it over. Here's a chance for the Pioneers from a wide angle, and that's mainly kind of what we've seen so far. The goalies have not been put to the test too awful much, as they've been able to keep shots mainly from the outside.
Well, like we said, both are very good defensive clubs, and they aren't going to give you any real good looks. And if they do give you a good look, the goaltenders are both really good enough that they're probably going to make a save. So, like I said, we're not going to see a lot of goals scored tonight.
Flick back out to center. Dump right back into the Crimson zone. Now Dahlquist. You can really see where Hill Murray is taught, take the body. There's so many, it seems to become, less and less of that where it's automatic, where you're taking the body every time, and they seem to really be doing it. You can see an occasion it's making the defenseman a little jittery or getting rid of it a little quicker, and that's part of it. And also you want to wear your opponent down. Crimson break it out nicely here. Chipped on in.
I remember the last time that the Pioneers made it to the state tournament, and everybody was kind of surprised when they made a run right into the championship game. I think they lost that game, but the way they played defense, they shut down some offensive powerhouses on the way in. It's just simply their system, the way they're taught to play, and it's very defensive-minded, but it's very effective, and it's drilled into them the moment they become a Pioneer. And that's Coach Lechner, and that's why he's such a good coach.
7 minutes to go now in this first period. No score on the board, and really no good chances for either club at this point. Just some good hockey. I mean, it's tight check-in. It's been well played, but it's not generated much in the way of offense so far here. Tristan DeBoco throwing it in on net. Slotsky directs that aside. Cal Thomas gathers for the Crimson. Now the pass back across for him, and he will dump it into the corner as Maple Grove makes a line change. Not a ton of whistles, just kind of getting each line and rotating through one after the other for both teams so far. Kyle Kukkonen winning that puck with a little jab of the stick, and then it's offside. And we'll get a face-off just outside the blue line here with 6:17 to play in the opening period.
I love the fact, too, that Kukkonen picks it up and he steals it away. But there's the Hill Murray defenseman right there. You're not going into my zone. Sorry. I gotcha.
Kostelecki winning the draw back to Latvala, and he'll dump it on in. Keppel stopping it there. Jumping in to help out there, Vincent Hurley for the Pioneers. Now they tried to spring a man up the middle. It did not quite work as they looked for Owen Quast. And he was entangled a little bit with a Crimson player, although not enough to draw a penalty here. That's another thing I think generally, not that there's been a lot of things where there was any call to make, but I think we're going to let him play tonight too. And that's another reason that it might be a little lower scoring perhaps.
I think that might have been the first icing call tonight, too.
Well, we've got a penalty coming up here against Maple Grove. Just as I say, they're not going to call a whole lot. We get our first penalty call of the game, and it'll be a trip. And the Pioneers will go on the power play. See, right after the draw, just got the stick in the skates a little bit. Right there, and so Sam Jacobs of the Crimson will go.
Could have let that one go, I think, but okay. This is kind of scary. Hill Murray's got a 29% power play effectiveness. That is really good, folks.
Try to go back to the point there, but Oberle will have to regroup as he's bothered by Kyle Kukkonen.
Conversely, though, Maple Grove's killing it off at 86%. That's also really good.
Janicki was trying to circle back and was being bothered there by Quast. Ended up costing him a chance to get it out. And now a penalty coming the other way as Kukkonen was taken down here. It's going to be a hook against Eischen of the Pioneers. Watch right here, Eischen getting the stick in.
Okay, they're going to call a stick one way, call it the other way out. Good call. Okay, that evened it out. You know, it's kind of interesting, too. You will see penalties like this when you see two teams that play with speed. And both these teams can skate very, very well. They're very fast.
So we go to 4 aside here. Might open up space for some offense a little bit. Ooh, might have another penalty coming up. Yes, Cal Thomas, an interference, I'm sure. Yeah, the puck was dumped in around him, and he still took the body well after the fact here. Now, many years ago, that would have been
no problem.
Yeah,
they call finishing the check.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way defensemen were taught to play years back. But
okay, let's not talk about lack of penalties from the rest of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
All of a sudden, we brought a rash on.
Threw the jinx in there. I'll take the blame for that.
Bergie's not happy with that.
So now 4 on 3, and it goes without saying, the more you shrink it down, the more ice there is to work with. And the Pioneers, a 4 on 3 power play is a lot bigger than a 5 on 4. Here's a drive, Slotsky the save, a huge rebound.
And here's the thing, too. You don't practice this situation very much.
Yeah, and that one sneaks through. Paladunchik will get the goal here for the Pioneers. A 4 on 3 power play goal.
Yeah, skidded it by the left side. Nice wrist shot, too. You know, a lot of times these guys wind up and just want to take this huge velocity slap shot. And notice how he lines it up. It'll come back out to him. He switches the sides now. Look at him line it up. Gets a good look, and he takes a wrist shot that sneaks in on the left side. Just a pretty shot. And the Pioneers are on the board on the power play.
Wallen will get the lone assist. Vodchek's goal is his 3rd of the year. So at 4 skaters aside now after that power play goal for Hill Murray. And that rising shot sails over the top from Henry Nelson. Pass there glancing off the stick of Nick Mountain and thrown back into the Hill Murray zone. Yeah, and certainly a lot of it has to do with Hill Murray's defense, but I get the feeling at times Maple Grove's been almost a little too cautious, and when they're looking to attack in the offensive zone, that they maybe haven't been direct enough at going to the net.
Yeah, and I think the other thing too, I've seen too many guys standing off to the side. Get in front of the goalie. Get a little dirty in front of him. Don't let him see the puck.
Hurley takes a check, and then it bounced away there from Toboko for the Pioneers, and that pass knocked down. Hurley had it briefly, and the Hill Murray penalty is over now, so they've got a little bit of a power play, but not much. Here's a drive by Kostelecki that goes wide, and now a chance to counter here. 4 on 2 possibility for Hill Murray. Penalty to Maple Grove is over. Drop pass there. Slotsky the save, and then he covers it up. Boy, Hill Murray had a great opportunity with Parker down and ended up putting the puck right into him.
Yeah.
That one could have and probably should have been a goal for the Pioneers.
Great move right there to get free. The defense went for a hip check and he missed. And here's a rebound that was given up and just got caught in the skates just enough for Slawski to get an arm out there. This is where right there gets that arm down. Now that was a pressed save, and they needed that one.
Pioneers win the draw. Oberle and fans on the pass. Trevor Kukkonen banking it back out, and Oberle throwing it in. It looked like Slotsky wasn't really ready there. I didn't think the puck was quite on net, but he wasn't in great position. Here's the goal as they work it around, and Kladicek able to exchange positions there and then just fire that wrister that got through.
Oh, breakaway.
Chance here for the Crimson, and Keppel closes the door. Able to deny a great opportunity there for Kukkonen. Looked like a pretty good move. He just didn't quite drag it across to be able to tuck it away. You saw the kind of calm style there of Keppel a little bit too, though. He didn't flop over and overcommit. Pass ahead here. Kyle Kukkonen chasing it down. Trying to go out front to Janicki. Kept it at the point. Now it comes back to Janicki, and his rising wrist shot goes over the net. Round the horn it comes now to Dahlquist. That one into some skates and then flicked out of play. And we'll get a face-off here with 2 minutes to go in the first. Hill Murray now leading it 1-0.
Couple good opportunities there, but again, the Crimson had two forwards down low and nobody got in front of the goalie. They really need to do that. I think that, you know, Keppel's looking really good in front. If he sees that he's going to make the save, I think they're going to have to really start getting in front so he can't see the puck.
Be an icing call here against the Pioneers. Maple Grove seems to have kind of gotten fired up a little bit by that goal against, and they're coming back with a good counterattack.
I think too, Keppel, you know, he's 6'2". He's covering a lot of net, both high and low.
Nice play to win that puck back by Reller, but then he went down. Floated to the net. Keppel is going to field it on a bounce and decide not to mess around. He's going to hang on, force a face-off. Kostelecki's line out now for the Crimson. He wins the draw, but wait a minute. We have a face-off coming up again.
Somebody cheated in the circle, Joey.
And now Hill Murray wins the draw, and I think they were guilty of violation the first time. Didn't exactly help Maple Grove's cause. It'll pop out to center here as a scrum ensues.
Oh boy.
Drop back. Here's a chance on the backhand. Never really got a shot away though, as Nick Mountain was pressured. Looked like he was going to have a great opportunity. Oof. Heavy check thrown there on Kernan. And the Pioneers throw it down the rink, and it will have just enough on it to be another icing call.
That was some thunderous defense there, boy. I'll tell you, that was a pounding being laid out there by the Hill Murray defense.
Yeah, Chris Kernan paid the price a little bit.
We were talking about it not being that physical, but when it is physical, these Hill Murray kids know how to bring it.
Well, and that's what you like when it's physical with a purpose, not the I'm going to take 5 strides and impress my buddies in the stands by rattling the glass. Here's Wallen to the net. And just get it away from him.
Boy, Wallen's been good tonight, hasn't he? He's really stepped up to the plate. He's showing the stuff as a senior, isn't he?
Well, and he really has a nice little burst. I mean, he can go from the blue line into scoring position in a pretty quick order. I mean, there's a lot of guys who can skate on both these teams tonight, but he even stands out a little bit with that strong stride.
Now, there's a good example, too. Did you see where the left winger coming down? Hey, Janik, I think it's Janicki, right? Yeah, Janicki coming in. He didn't go to the front of the net. He went off to the side when that shot came in. If he could have gone to the front of the net, he might have deflected it. They got to start getting in the face, you know, of Keppel there, because he's just getting a free ride just to make the save, and nobody's disrupting him at all. He's just too smooth and too calm.
Oh, without front there, and Janicki ran into a shoulder check from Oberle. We said Hill Murray not super big, but this first defensive pair is big and talented. Solid. And now we'll tick down to zeros, and the first period comes to an end. It was an interesting one. Not a lot of whistles early, not a lot of offense early. Got a little more as it went, and the Pioneers got the lone goal the first period on Palatachuk getting the third goal of the season on a power play. So Hill Murray leading at 1-0 after one. We'll continue with our live coverage of boys hockey here on CCX, the Pioneers and the Crimson. Welcome back here to Aldrich Arena as the Crimson and Pioneers have completed one period here tonight. Let's take a look at first period highlights in this one. Little give and go here from Maple Grove, and then that one just kind of trickling in on net, and Keppel making the stop. And then here's a shot that's deflected just wide. Then they pass back to the point and ran all the way through. Here's Hill Murray getting the opportunity with the 4-on-3 power play and Palatachuk shooting. And this is one that I'm sure Slotsby would probably say he should have had. I mean, it was a good shot for sure, but kind of snuck through him. And that, we said that, you know, at the time, some ice would open up with that power play. And here's a great stop. That was his best save of the night, or his best two for the Slotsby right there. And Hill Murray, I'm sure, felt they should have had another one. And then to add insult to injury, the check knocked him away. And then Keppel stopping Kukkonen on a breakaway. Boy, that one could have obviously easily been a goal. See, the shots were even. Scoring chances pretty even as well. We did have the one goal being a power play goal on the 4-on-3 for the Pioneers. So we'll come back and drop the puck for period 2 here as Maple Grove and Hill Murray get set to do battle. The Crimson Girls will be over here Thursday night and playing against the Pioneers.
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I bought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
Pioneers gathering at their bench as we get set for period number 2, and some good things I think for both teams in that first period, Dan, and then some others that, you know, not quite as good. Maple Grove, I thought early in the game kind of had the better of things, then it kind of went back and forth from there.
Definitely, and I think the Pioneers staying within their system. They play good, solid D, so not to worry. Maple Grove, they got to start putting pressure on the Hill Murray goaltender, Keppel. They got to really get in his face, get in his grill a little bit to get him disturbed. Interesting thing,
similarities in this team. Their worst period for both of them is the second period. So we'll see which one can rise above and overcome that and play better than the other team in the second period here. But I think Hill Murray keep playing the way they have been. Maple Grove, they got to disrupt the Hill Murray goaltender here in the second period.
Trevor Kukkonen dumping it in here for the Crimson. Keppel to stop it there. And we're going to have an early penalty call coming up. And it will be a slash. And so a quick power play coming for the Crimson.
Well, here's their opportunity to get it right away here.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's against Janicki.
Oh, really? Oh, interesting. Well, this is going to be a challenge for the Crimson here. They gave up a power play goal in the first period. They're going to have to be on their toes now. We talked about how good the Hill Murray power play was during the first period. It proved itself to be, so
Janicki getting a slashing minor at 19 seconds in. Around it comes. Oberle will keep the puck moving, then he gets it back for a slap shot, and what a deflection out front. Whoa. No chance for Slotsky on that one, as perfect timing on the deflection. Oberle will get it.
Well, we talked about this power play running at about 29%, which is fantastic. And you see the stack there in the middle. They had two forwards stacked in the middle. See one?
Oh, maybe it hit a Crimson stick, so that's why they're congratulating Oberle. I thought at first it was going to be Eichen's goal.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so it did hit a Maple Grove stick. Wallen and Quast will get the assist on Oberle's goal. 41 seconds the time, so both goals on power plays kind of tells you the importance of staying out of the box. An icing call here, so Maple Grove not the start they wanted to period two, that's for sure. Another look at this one. I thought it certainly looked like at first it was tipped by the Pioneer. No, it definitely was off the Maple Grove stick. Good slow look at it there.
That was a very
Dahlquist. I thought I was all ready to pat Henry Eichen on the back for having such good hand-eye coordination, but it actually was off the Crimson stick.
Boy, that was a different looking power play set up by the Pioneers. That was interesting.
Good turnaround try there by Kukkonen. Now back at the point, Jack Dorholt sending it down deep. Down low, Trevor Kukkonen. Crimson desperately trying to get one here to pull back within a goal. Their pass just got away from Jacob Hicks. Jared Jensen down there to play, had lost it. Janicki trying to come up with it. And here's Kyle Kukkonen around to Janicki, putting it out front. Knocked away, but the Pioneers unable to clear.
Boy, this defense of the Pioneers is just a beautiful thing to watch. You know, they just, everything has to get pushed off to the outside. They just shut the middle down. And if you miss a pass, and even it's a perfect setup, if you throw a pass off just a little bit off, they're right there to prevent you from even coming close to the middle.
That puck deflected up and out as the Pioneers finally relieve the pressure, and here comes Tavokel after it, trying to drop the pass back. That went off the side of the net from Nick Mountain. And the Crimson able to reverse it and get the puck out. Here's Janicki. Poked away from him, and now Hill Murray trying to catch him in a change. Sam Carr.
Just a real basic mistake there. They had a good possible 2-on-1, 3-on-2 going there, and just one move at the blue line, get the puck across the blue line, then make your move. but it threw the left wing offside. You can see the quick move right there. And you see it threw him offside.
Played into the Hill Murray zone and quickly banked back out. Thrown back in immediately by Elias. Keppel stopping it behind the net. And sent back ahead, and now here comes Barber. Barber firing, but he missed the net. Long high rebound. Crimson trying to get it set up. Back out to the point, and then they play it down deep. Ooh, and a nice save there by Keppel. Kind of a sneaky little shot by Reller as he went back. He was coming across the middle and went back to the side they had come from. Now here's a drive, whoa, off the outside of the net. Kept in nicely, chance for the Crimson there. Nice weak side look, but the defender got a piece of it. Coming back was the winger Eischen. Maple Grove moving the puck nicely here, but a lot of bodies in front. And there we get through for a goal, Elias.
And guess what, Jay? There's a Crimson player standing right in front of Keppel. If we look at the replay there, we'll see a Crimson player standing right in front of him. Because Keppel didn't even flinch. He didn't even see it go by him. And it was a great shot, great setup, good puck movement. Coming across now. Look at the 2D and a Crimson player right in front of the net there. Keppel didn't even see it. He kind of looked around like, really? Look at all the bodies in front of Keppel. He slips into the left side there. And boy, the Crimson really needed that one.
Dahlquist and Jacobs will get the assist. It's the first goal of the year for Elias.
Couldn't come at a better time against the Pioneers at Aldrich Arena. They needed that pick-me-up right now.
Kyle Kukkonen back to the point. They swing it around the horn now for Nelson, and that went in on Keppel.
And I really can't emphasize how important it is. If you're going to shoot the puck, put it on the net. Make the goalie work. And we saw a lot of them that missed the net and didn't do it again. Get it on the net. And again, another little wrist shot. Oh, a little deflection there in front.
And that's where it can be a little bit of a fine line. We were talking about Hill Murray clogging up in front. And, you know, that's a good thing for the most part as a goalie, but at times they can feel like they may be in your way a little bit too, possibly.
Yeah, at that point, you know, when you're playing defense at that point, if you got to block the shot and make sure you block it. If you're going to be in front like that of your goalie.
Same thing at the other end on that goal that tipped it off a Crimson stick, too. I mean, that's part of it. Your instinct is to reach for the puck.
And it's a decision you have to make in a split second. You got to make it right now.
Battle for the puck here. Kyle Kukkonen puts it back to the point, and then that one deflects to the corner. Pioneers able to get it out. Jared Jensen, and it's knocked down, so he was in an offside position, had to get out of the zone. Chipped in by O'Regan. Now Mountain. Looking for the tip in front. Oh, and that one hits the pipe on the rebound. And the goal stick lost. Slotsky's stick is away from him.
Oh, that should have been a penalty.
Yeah, one of the Hill Murray players knocked the stick further away. But it's recovered and given back to him now. Looking out front for the deflection, but that one sails wide. Jacobs digging for it, and now coming away with it is Kostelecki, and a dangerous shot there that was just barely stopped. Swinging around quickly here to Elias, and his shot attempt knocked down by Local. Kostelecki whipping it back down deep. Kernan after it there. Thrown to the front, intercepted, and then knocked down at center. Battle for it in front of the Maple Grove bench, and they're able to get it back in. Keppel will stop it there. And Elias chops it away at center.
Boy, that power play goal by the Pioneers all of a sudden ignited the Crimson. All of a sudden, they have played way better since that goal got scored.
Another look at that one. Oh, Adam Beaton just hit square on the pipe.
I don't even know if he got a leg pad on it to move it toward the pipe. I think it was a straight shot on the pipe. What a nice move in front by the Pioneers. That was quick thinking.
Bill Murray unable to get it out. Now Keppel playing it to the wall. Crimson doing a pretty good job of bottling him up here in the second period, especially, as you said, since that goal. Wast able to get it into the Maple Grove zone here. Nelson back to pick it up. Swings it around, and they're able to chip it out now. Reller pushes it to the corner.
Yeah, the Crimson made a good adjustment here too, where they're not even trying to carry it over the blue line. They're just dumping it in and going after it. With the way that the Pioneers have demonstrated that they know their gaps in spacing, they're not even going to try and get around it. They're just going to throw it in and go after it.
Rush here for Hill Murray. That one off the outside of the pipe. Now back out front. Almost a good chance there. Now to the point with it they come. Ryan Peterson's shot knocked away. Now you look for Janicki up the middle, but Peterson, that long reach, able to knock that one down. Boy, Janicki had some space. Thrown back in on Slotsby, and he'll direct it over to his defenseman, Dahlquist. Crimson on the rush here. Kyle Kukkonen. Nice move to the front, drops it off, and a goal!
Yes!
Great shot under the crossbar as Kukkonen sending it over there to Cal Thomas, and Thomas will bury it.
Holy, my gosh. What a shelf shot that was. What a nice play by Kukkonen. Comes across. Oh, no. Just a quick turn around here. Look at the pass right here. And just brings it up top on the short side. I mean, that caught Keppel completely off guard. He was completely out balanced. He was expecting to get to go to the other side, and it caught him caught on the short side.
Kyle Kukkonen, that is, will get the lone assist. Second goal of the year for Thomas. 9:02 the time, and we are even at 2. Vernon back out to the point. Now across for Thomas. Tried to get it out front again. Thomas able to stop that one. And now chip back out, but Hill Murray's been back on their heels. Maple Grove, a lot of offensive zone possession time here in the middle part. Oh my goodness, the glass shatters on that check. And this might be a problem in terms of continuing the game for a while here.
A statement of the obvious by the public announcer. This is interesting. Oh, there you go. Got a skate up there.
The skate is what hit it. Yeah, it wasn't the play. I was going to say it didn't seem like that big of a check. Well, there's the check initially, but it's a skate that hits it. And look out below.
Man.
Wow. I've seen this before, but not exactly in this way, and not quite the shatter like that.
I've never seen a skate take it out like that. My gosh. Well, this isn't like the XL Energy Center. Do you think they're going to have a piece of ice, a piece of glass back there?
It looks like yes, but
You would think that they would have some in inventory, I guess. I don't know. It is Aldrich Arena, one of the pinnacles of hockeydom here in the state of Minnesota. So
well, and it is kind of a two-part problem too. The first thing is you've got to get all of that cleaned up.
Yeah.
But then also to have another panel to put in, which interesting.
It gives us another chance to talk about it. This has been an interesting game. This is really, I tell you what, you mentioned that the Pioneers have been put on their heels. They have been literally shoved violently back on their heels by the Crimson here. And this is just kind of a synopsis of it, but you can see that leg come flying back up there. But boy, all of a sudden the Crimson have just come alive here. And we were talking before the game with Coach Bergstrom. He said, they've been looking for consistency, and that in the second period especially, that they have been falling asleep. They'll take a moment where they're playing good, and then all of a sudden, for 5 minutes, they'll just completely fall asleep and let the other team either in the game or just really take charge and put them down by a few goals. And we saw them get down by 2 goals here in the second period, and all of a sudden, they've just come back to life and taken charge in this game. And frankly, they're dominating the Pioneers right now.
See the tape measure out as they're measuring up, and I doubt this is going to continue in a real hurry here. So we're going to take a timeout, come back, and see what they can do to get the glass fixed here at Aldrich, as Maple Grove and Hill Murray tied up at 2 here on CCX.
La 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 la, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color-coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Queen is just my everything.
His smile did it. His smile, his eyes, his knowledge. My landlord, he decided that he wanted me to move based on the fact that I was transgender. Let's just respect people in everyday life for just being human.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it.
I know. Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
You were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Well, those kids are having a good time, even despite the delay, enjoying a snack and having a little laugh, as we've got a delay here due to a glass breakage at Aldrich Arena. The good news is we are getting awful close to being able to resume. They've run the Zamboni over the area in front of the glass to kind of get the remainder of any shards up a little bit. And I think they've gone to tell the teams that you should be prepared to come back out quite soon here. I thought for a moment they were going to be resurfacing the whole ice, but that's not the case right now. They are going to finish this period and then have, the regular intermission length. And Dan, you and I were talking that we've both seen before that if there was a very limited time left in the period, that they probably would have just tacked that remainder onto the third period. They would have had a full intermission now. but that appears to be not the case.
If it would have been about 3 minutes or less, I think they would have tacked it on. But 7 minutes is a long time. Like I said, a 24-minute period, I don't know of anywhere where they have a period that long. So, and that would have hurt the kids, you know, because that's a long time to play hockey. So, without a break. So, we'll probably get this will be 7 minutes. They'll finish out the period, then they'll resurface the ice, and then we'll go back to a normal 17-minute third period here, etc. But right now, this isn't good for the Crimson. They had all the momentum going in their direction here, and the Pioneers got to be happy this happened. Maybe they got a little chance to rest a little bit, kind of rethink their strategy, and we'll see what happens here as the two teams come back out here to play it out. And, the Pioneers are taking their time coming out of their locker room. There they are. They're coming out now. So I would imagine they've made some pretty severe adjustments here after really being nominated for the past 10 minutes in this period.
And obviously it was just a fluke thing. We don't, you know, it wasn't like they had that plan or anything. But obviously it didn't come at an opportune time for the Crimson because they had a lot of momentum going.
Oh, they were putting it on big time.
But looks like the teams are just about ready to go now. And, you know, this is obviously something you don't have happen on a very regular basis here. And you're just hoping that the guys are back to being sharp fairly quick. The one thing is, you know, you do at practice sessions, sometimes you're going hard and then having a little meeting and changing up drills and things. So, you know, you kind of borrow from that experience a little bit, I think, too.
Yeah, I don't think this will be much of a big deal. I really don't. They'll pick it up and get going after one shift or two. They'll have their legs back underneath them and rocking and rolling.
So we are ready to go on the center ice face-off here. 6:53 to go in the second. After Hill Murray had taken a 2-0 lead, Maple Grove scoring twice in a little less than 5 minutes to tie things up. Kyle Kukkonen sending it in deep.
The one thing I'd want to do too is get a shot on a goalie right away. Get one on him right now. See how they're feeling right now.
And that puck, I think, briefly caught up in somebody's equipment there, so get a stoppage and a face-off in the Hill Murray zone. Off the draw, Crimson trying to control it. Thomas sent it ahead and it caroms out. They'll hammer it right back in. Keppel stopping it there for Peterson. Peterson trying to carry the puck out of the zone and does so, but then taken from him at center and then re-intercepted by Quast. He'll send it in deep as we go under 6 to play in the period. And if you're just joining us and thinking, wow, I'm surprised this game is a little farther along. We had a delay for one of the plexiglass portions getting knocked out and actually shattering. So we had a delay of, I guess, probably about 15 minutes or so. Well, they got that repaired, so we're finishing up our second period here. Nice interception there by Jared Jensen for Hill Murray. Forced wide here, and Jensen coming back up with it. Then gets a return pass from Begley. It's going to be a memorable night for Begley because he'll be part of Hill Murray trivia. You know, which player's skate broke the glass at that game versus Maple Grove. Out front, knocked away, but kept in. Ooh, and Vladichuk's bouncing shot, caroming wide. Crimson coming up with it. Kyle Kukkonen will send it in, and they call for a line change. Ooh, a giveaway there. Jacobs up with it, puts it out front now, and try.
Oh, beautiful.
Kostelecki will pump it home as a bad turnover cost Hill Murray. The initial try didn't quite get there. Now it's going to be Trevor Kukkonen that'll get it. Here's the turnover.
Right there.
Now here they don't quite get the shot, gets Kostelecki's first try, but then way out wide to the left was Kukkonen, and he's able to bury it.
It's like Sam Jacobs was the one who took the puck away there and turned it over. Just a really nice play. Good pressure again by the Crimson.
There were kind of real few glaring mistakes on the D by Hill Murray, though, with that giveaway. Jacobs, give him credit there. And he'll get an assist along with Kostelecki and Trevor Kukkonen netting the goal. So 3-2 Crimson. For Trevor Kukkonen, 14th goal of the season, which is now gives him the lead over his little brother. And they were tied at 13 coming in. And this one sent down the rink. It's going to be an icing call against Hill Murray. So Maple Grove able to kind of pick up where they left off before that glass breakage, and they have scored 3 in a row. Here's another look at it. The pass right there, the shot blocked, but then you see Keppel's out of position there as he was really lined up for that first shot, and Kukkonen from a bad angle just had to hit an open net.
Well, a real short window there too, and he got the puck on his stick and he had to make a quick, fast shot, and a small angle. He did a nice job there.
Long one thrown on net, kicked out of there by Keppel. Played ahead, but intercepted there from Maple Grove by Dorholt, and then that one will get out of play. Ooh, and then things get a little bit physical after the whistle.
Well, we were talking about, second period, and this is the period that whoever came out, not playing that one second period, and right now Hill Murray, it got turned around. They took a quick lead again, or got the 2-0 lead on the power play, but then, oh my gosh, the Crimson just started laying the wood to them and really went after it, and just got 3 unanswered goals here against the Pioneers, and they've turned this game completely around.
Back out to the point off a shin pad as Wallen blocked that one. He gives chase, but he's beaten to it. And now it's dumped in, and Wallen will have to get out of the zone. Crimson working it up the right side, and they dump it on in. Keppel stopping it there, but intercepted and out front. Oh. Wow, Trevor Kukkonen nearly tipped that one in with a one-handed deflection.
Keppel looked around like he almost expected it to be in the back of the net.
Kyle Kukkonen grabbed it and threw it out front, and Trevor Kukkonen just missing. Turnover forced there, but then the shot never made it to Slotsby. 2:40 to go here in the second. 3-2 Maple Grove. Now a pass left side for Janicki. Janicki trying to get it out front, intercepted though. Back the other way with it was Cam Quinlan. Now put out front, Slotsby knocked that one away. It was really all alone there was Tomoko for the Pioneers. Now rush back the other way. Jacobs up with it, and behind his intended target, Kostelecki. Then the next one blocked. Now they come back.
Oh, yeah.
And no goal. The whistle sounded as the net came off.
Yeah.
Kostelecki shot, and then the rebound was pushed in, but no goal.
But here's the difference between the first period and the second period. There were 3 Crimson players right there on the net. They're getting in on the Pioneer net. Shot one, two Crimson players are out there now. And they're really crowding the net now. That's making all the difference in the world right now. Good shot there.
Boy, the net, it didn't really appear to be off there, although they did blow it dead, so that part's not really in debate. But Peterson sending it around, kept in at the point, and then a swing and a miss by Elias. Elias, kind of an interesting one. He's a very small defenseman, but boy, he's quick with his hands and his skates, and he had a goal earlier tonight for the Crimson.
Coach Berglund talked about how smart he is too. He's got all the tools, but he really uses his head. He sees the ice well, knows how to make plays.
Back out to the point. That one stopped by Keppel at the pad save. Well, Maple Grove has really figured some things out here about the best way to attack this Hill Murray defense.
Yeah.
Early in the game, it felt like, you know, you were wondering if they were ever going to get much through. And now it just seems like they've been dominant in this period.
Well, they spread it out. They're not letting it get all pushed to the outside. They're getting people in on the net, on the goalie. And it's made all the difference in the world. They're winning one-on-one battles, too. We've talked about that before. They're just not settling for having the puck taken away. They're going after it and winning one-on-one battles with the Hill Murray defense.
Banked around, Quast able to get it out, but only to center. Janicki brought it back in, but the Pioneers take it. So we go under a minute to play in the lengthened second period. An icing call here against Hill Murray. Again, if you're just joining us, we had a portion of the plexiglass break when a skate went up and hit it as Axel Begley of Hill Murray was checked, and then his foot flew up and made a mighty shatter of the glass. Here's a shot that was knocked down. Kind of safe to say, I think Hill Murray will be glad to see this period end, though. It's after, as you said, they got that early goal of their own. Maple Grove's pretty much controlled things. Janicki trying to win that puck back. Comes over to Eischen, and that one intercepted. Trevor Kukkonen just about got it to Janicki. Bounces over Keppel's stick. And tap behind the net, and that's going to do it for our second period of play. So an interesting one for many reasons. Obviously the glass portion. But 3 unanswered goals by the Crimson after they went down 2-0 and taking a 3-2 lead here in the second period. Pretty much dominated for about, I don't know, what would you say, Jay, about 15 minutes here after the power play goal by the Pioneers. Completely turned the game around and just dominated the period. So 3-2 Maple Grove. After 2, we will continue with our coverage of boys hockey here on CCX as you get a look at the classic glass break-ins there.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be?
You go and step out of the vehicle for me?
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Welcome back here to Aldrich Arena, along with Dan Fickett. I'm Jay Wilcox. Maple Grove leading Hill Murray by a score of 3-2, and boy, the second period had a lot of twists and turns for reasons beyond just the hockey. But here's a look at our second period highlights. A quick goal for Hill Murray to begin the period as they got a power play early. It turned into a 4-on-3, and a shot deflecting in. The defenseman Oberle getting it on the shot from the point. So they led 2-0, but Maple Grove came storming back. And look at this shot getting through from Ethan Elias. And that brought the Crimson to within 2-1. And then it'll be Cal Thomas getting the next one on a nice feed here as Kyle Kukkonen makes a great move, gets it to Thomas. He didn't have much room, but he sneaks it under the crossbar with a beautiful shot. And then a turnover costing Hill Murray. Jacobs out front, first shot blocked, but following up was Trevor Kukkonen, and that gave Maple Grove the lead as they take a 3-2 lead. You see they kind of controlled things. They outshot the Pioneers 12-5 in that second period. And penalties obviously have hurt them as both of Hill Murray's goals have come on the power play. We'll see what things shake out like in period number 3 here. Hopefully we have no more broken glass to worry about as Maple Grove trying to pick up a win here tonight on the road in a tough venue. 3-2, Crimson leading the Pioneers.
they'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Meals on Wheels gives me a chance to be totally selfless. More than the food itself, a lot of seniors don't have family. So just to have someone to talk to, just to say, hey, how was your day? That means so much more than a meal could ever mean. We have to look outside of ourselves to be that lifeline to other people. It's worth it.
Well, there was a quick look at what we've seen throughout the night, and I want to know, Dan, who's going to make a play that's special enough that it becomes more memorable than the glass breaking? That's the challenge for these guys in the third period, right?
There's a coach down there in green and black that's wondering the same thing, too, for his own team. He's going to need something to happen. But here's an interesting statistic. I was looking up the numbers. Hill Murray, in 16 games this year, has only given up 1 goal in the third period. 1 goal, period, out of 16 third periods this year. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. They've also scored 20 in the third period over 16 games.
What did Coach Lecter say right away when you brought that up? Oh, thanks for jinxing us.
Yeah, you jinxed us. You're jinxing us, yeah.
But that is impressive. I mean, and, you know, it could be thought of with fewer games included, it could be thought of as just kind of a statistical fluke or whatever, but when it's that many games, and then it's a real thing.
It's a real thing. These kids focus and button down in that third period, so they're only down by a goal here, even though they got thoroughly dominated in the second period. So we'll see how they respond now to what happened to them in the second period.
You know, it's interesting, too. We were really praising Hill Murray earlier for, you know, how committed to defense they are and being in position.
Yeah.
But then as the second period went on, it almost felt like that was their fallback thing, was to be falling back and playing defense without really, you know, being able to work the puck out of their zone or thinking offensively at all.
Yep.
And Maple Grove obviously deserves a lot of credit for that because, like I said, they figured some things out about how to attack it, I think, too.
You play good defense by positioning on your legs, and Hill Murray forgot to use their legs, which means they lost their positioning.
Aishan shot attempt was blocked. Now Thomas up with it, and here come the Crimson. Elias throwing it in deep there. Keppel out to stop it. Played for it along the wall there as Jacobs throws a check. Kostelecki trying to come up with it there, and now finally Hill Murray emerges with it. Tipped in deep by Kaboko. Floated to center, and here's coming up with it is Kernan. But then they overskate, and back the other way come the Pioneers. Kaboko shot and a save by Slotsby. He gets right back to it though and throws it around deep in behind. Tip back out to center, then thrown back into the Maple Grove zone. Quickly go D to D here. Dahlquist pass did not connect with Jacobs, and it'll be an icing call against the Crimson. And to be honest, that would look like it might have been more on the pass receiver there. Jacobs didn't have his stick quite ready.
Yep. Right there, but so far,
Hill Murray's responding a little bit better now. They're not moving the puck a little bit better.
Thomas knocks the puck to the corner and goes and gets it. Nice little pass to get it out, but then it's taken away, and Hurley comes back into the zone here for Hill Murray. Hurley taking a check. Reller sending it ahead, and now back out to center, but again, the Pioneers stop it there. Banked ahead, and nice job by Peterson, though, to calmly take that one away and then thrown right back in. Slotsky unable to quite get to it, but Hill Murray was changing, so no real pressure on. Sent ahead to the Pioneers' blue line, and then right back out it comes. Oakland will drop it in. Keppel stops it for his defenseman, Peterson. Wallen tipping it in deep, and he goes to get it himself, and then took a check from Latvala. Janicki picking it up. The referee keeping a close eye on the little skirmish behind there. Now right back in, it comes to the Crimson zone. Nice shot block by Dorholt. And Maple Grove looking to counter. Janicki has to turn around for that one. Peterson pushes ahead to Eischen, and they get it out, but then a solid check thrown there as Wallen was hit by Kyle Kukkonen. And Crimson free it up in deep. The pass goes off a skate. Back down behind for Kyle Kukkonen. Ooh, and almost taken away at the blue line there. Crimson keep it in though. And there's Trevor Kukkonen with the shot. Keppel the glove catch. And he will hang on. Trevor Kukkonen and the go-ahead goal in that second period as his team up 3-2.
Well, Maple Grove just a half step back from where they were in the second period right now. Just kind of letting Hill Murray take a little bit more assertiveness and stuff, and just a little sloppy, I think, compared to where they were in the second period right now. They're giving Hill Murray a little bit of an opening if Hill Murray wants to get in and kick the door down.
Yeah, Maple Grove was really buzzing. I mean, just shift after shift in that second. You were seeing the puck move quick. You were seeing guys moving quick, and there just was a real strong sense of urgency in that period.
Yep. Demanding the puck, making sure that they made the play. And I'm not seeing that here in the third period right now. And if Hill Murray can turn it up a little bit more of a notch, they might get some success. Crimson got to understand, they're only up by a goal. They're one shot away from being tied.
And we're going to have a penalty coming up against Hill Murray. A slashing call over near their bench. And they will get Nick Mountain for the penalty. Watch it right in front of the bench.
Right there. That was not a smart penalty either. That was a frustration penalty.
And puck knocked out to center here. Maple Grove will regroup. Nelson swinging it around quickly. Nelson getting it out high. Kyle Kukkonen relaying it down deep, then he gets it right back. Trying to go out front with it, but a nice block and cleared down the rink. Solid job defensively by Oberle there. And now the Crimson starting back up ice here with this power play on a 3-2 lead. Kyle Kukkonen.
They've been working on this all week now. They wanted to get it up. Their numbers aren't good for the power play.
Trevor Kukkonen shot hitting a skate and going wide. And the Pioneers able to get it briefly, enough to make them regroup outside the zone as Kostelecki throws it across to Janicki. Janicki had it knocked loose and cleared down the rink. Nelson leaving it now for Kyle Kukkonen. A little under 50 to go on the power play here for the Crimson. Nelson carries it in deep, swings it around toward Janicki. And once again, Hill Murray able to clear it. They've done a nice job of when they get the puck, it's gone.
Yep. Well, special teams in Hill Murray are always good, and this year they're very good.
That one deflects up into the netting off Keppel, so we'll get a face-off in the... No, maybe not. I thought it was going to be in the Hill Murray zone. Yes, it will be. And 16 seconds to go here on the power play for the Crimson.
You know, when you play against elite teams, your special teams have got to be good. They've got to be at least 25% on the power play and then 80% on the penalty kill if you're going to compete with them. That's been the one area that the Hill Murray did very well. They've gotten power play goals, and when they got the opportunity, and they put Maple Grove down, early.
Second unit out now for the Crimson. Back to Thomas, and his shot goes just wide. Penalty is over. Maple Grove still buzzing though. Turnaround try there was blocked. So Hill Murray killing off that penalty without too much difficulty. And now they'll get it out. Problem is this will be icing.
Just Maple Grove just not really smooth on the power play. They're having real trouble. They were only clicking at 17%, which isn't good. And you bring that into a situation where you've got a penalty count running at 86% above average. They're going to have to work that out. If they're going to get into that upper tier and state tournament area, they're going to have to get that improved on here real quick.
Jacobs up with it, but his pass knocked down. And put on front and tipped just wide by Kostelecki off the feed from Kernan. Jacobs throwing a check, and then the Pioneers nearly give it away. Just kind of a blind little breakout pass there that was not very well on target. Nelson carries it in. Puck just kind of stopped there. A couple guys overskated it. Now Jacobs will bang it back into the Pioneer zone. Hill Murray unable to get it out.
Boy, the turnovers tonight, Jay, for Pioneers have really hurt them bad.
Nice pass across here. Tomoko carrying it. That shot sailing wide, though, and a big long rebound coming way out high. Throw it toward the net, then whipped right back out and back in. Crimson reverse it here, and then there was an ill-advised one that Quast was looking to steal, and then his shot just missed the far post. Maple Grove looking to counter. Pass just a little off for Leafblad there, sent back out, and then Elias relays it back in. Oberle. Bank pass there, and now the Pioneers work it up the right side. Quast. Turned back by Thomas. Quast tapping it back down deep, and Thomas regroups to play it here. Under 8 minutes to go now. 3-2 Maple Grove, our score. Elias getting it in the Hill Murray zone, but not very deep. But the good news for Maple Grove is Hill Murray needed a line change also. First line back out now for the Crimson. Kyle Kukkonen to Trevor Kukkonen in deep there. Wallen sending it back around. Wallen will get it again here for Hill Murray. They've had a lot more trouble breaking the puck out than they did early in the game. Back down deep here. Kyle Kukkonen took a bump. Now he gets up and gets it back out to the point. Here's a shot, but that one hit a skate in front, and a nice shot block by O'Regan for Hill Murray. Here's Janicki trying to get it to Kyle Kukkonen. It was back out, so they're offside.
Well, this line, this Kukkonen and Janicki line here for Maple Grove is quick and fast. And when they come out, they reassert that forecheck for the Crimson. And just if they're having a little scramble down the other two lines, these guys come out and just reestablish that forecheck and put the Pioneers back on
their heels, and they've done that pretty much all through the second period and in this period.
Dahlquist throwing the puck in deep, and I always thought that at the beginning of the season that it really helps that you have the older Kukin and Trevor grow up knowing his brother's friends and everything. I have to believe that made the transition for some of these younger guys to the varsity to go a little smoother. Just
yes.
when you know each other already, and you know a little bit how they play, but also just there's competition for spots and all that, and I would think that helps chemistry when you have that situation.
Well, a lot of these guys have backyard rinks and stuff like that, and they're rink racking, so it's not like the senior hasn't played with the freshmen and the sophomores. They all through this youth hockey they've done it.
Kostelecki's rising shot over the top. Jacobs up with it. Kernan trying to work his way out of there with the puck. Now Jacobs jumps in to help. And that one just came out, so Maple Grove has to clear the zone. Thrown in deep here, just out of Slotsky's reach, but the Crimson quickly go D to D and get it out. Chopped ahead there by Oberle. Maple Grove able to get it back into the Hill Murray zone, though. Oberle turning back to play it. Throws it around, and that one gets by everyone. Thomas sending it across now to Elias, and that one will come right in on net. Keppel stops it, and we'll get a face-off in the Hill Murray zone.
Just little things that are happening now. Maple Grove just getting it across and dumping it out and into the zone, and little mistakes pioneers are making instead of getting that pass out and around, not quite getting it and letting it roll right out to the Maple Grove defense, and they get control of it again. This is the time now for make-sures. You got to make sure you get it out of your zone. You got to make sure you catch that pass. You got to make sure you do the right thing here.
And Trevor Kukin and a shot. Keppel will make the glove save and another face-off. That's a really good point, and especially when we're kind of turning the corner toward playoff time, those are the things, some of the really attacking and cutesy plays or whatever. When you get into the section play, this is particularly deeper in the playoffs, the section semis and finals. Those are the time when you can't afford a turnover based on those kind of plays. And Hill Murray, I think in some of their state tournament years have been a good example of that. They just don't hurt themselves with mistakes as much, and maybe wait for the other team to cough the puck up at a bad time or whatnot.
Exactly. These are things that drive Bill Luckner right up a wall, I'll guarantee you. But again, as he stated, this is a young team. He says they're a little bit ahead of things right now, and they're still learning. So he's probably thinking about you and me right now going, they jinxed me. They jinxed me, they jinxed me.
Although they still have not allowed to go.
They have not. They have not. That's true.
Almost a turnover there, and now Oberle up with it. Passing it across to Eischen. Eischen getting in for the shot. Ooh, and Slotsky. That was kind of a tough one. It was up, kind of over, almost over his shoulder on the short side there. And he was worried about if he, moved too much, this puck kind of trickling free.
Coming into this year with that Bantam AA team from Maple Grove that won state, it was all about Jack Wenicky, coming in this year being the guy. And all of a sudden, Parker Slotsky he's going to go 6-0 if they win this game. Kind of coming out of nowhere, and he's really kind of done a good job. Coach Bergson has said he's earned his shot. He's worked hard in practice, done a good job. Berglund, I'm sorry. And it's a good thing to see. It's good to have two good goaltenders. If one goes down, you got one you can rely on, and he's done a good job tonight, Jay. I've been pretty impressed with the way he's worked.
Offside call here against the Crimson. Knocked right back into the Hill Murray zone. Now, Maple Grove hasn't had a ton of offense in this third period, but they've also limited Hill Murray to not really getting a lot of quality chances either, and that's something that is important to learn too, is how to, how to protect a 1-goal lead. I mean, it's simple to say that, the best way to protect a 1-goal lead is to add more yourself, but you have to be smart about the way you do things defensively, and they've been.
Good defense is good defense, and we talked about you win championships with defense. You don't do it by outscoring the other team. You shut them down. They came into this game with giving up goals against of 2.28, and they're below that right now by only giving up 2 goals, and they're showing that they can play a good defensive game, a smart defensive game.
Peterson picking it up. 3:15 to go in the hockey game. Maple Grove leading it by a score of 3-2. Nice bank pass ahead there to Reller. That shot denied. Kept in, I'm wrong, not kept in, is Thomas. Just about was able to do so. Thomas had the second goal, the tying goal for the Crimson in that second period.
Yeah, Jay, looking at both these teams, in a year or two, these two teams, if we come out and watch this game, this is good. They're going to be, oh boy, they're going to be 2 scary hockey teams.
Yeah, right. A lot of young talent on both these teams.
A lot of sophomores.
Back into the Grove zone. Elias quickly sending it ahead, and he fluttered this one in. I think they were trying to draw a face-off there, and Keppel wasn't having it. He kept the puck moving. Kyle Kukkonen throwing it out front, but Oberle intercepted that. Kyle Kukkonen picking it up. It's important to have, 2 and 3 good lines, but also it's important to have a line that can really make something happen. And boy, you notice this line every time they're out, as you said earlier, Dan, the Kukkonen, Janicki line.
Yeah. They started out together in the beginning of the year. We saw them in the Edina game in the Turkey Trot, and they looked good, but about 4 more games farther in the season, they got broken up a little bit, and Coach Bergen tried some other things going. They still kept winning, but he kind of brought them together a couple weeks ago again to play together, and he's trying some different things here now. So we got a timeout now.
Yeah, Hill Murray took it. Look at some of the hits we've seen in tonight's contest here. Is a little bit of a physical battle there.
I thought you made a really good point, though, early in the game here, Jay. You saw some of this. It isn't necessarily, they just weren't hitting for the sake of hitting. They've been checks that made a point and were done at the right time. And that's the difference, that good teams know how to do that and when to do that. And it wasn't necessarily to take your head off, just want to take you out of the play. And if you happen to go down, then you happen to go down. But maybe I just rub you on the boards.
Well, and part of that too, Dan, is being in good position.
Yeah.
So that you can do it. I mean, if you're not confident enough in your skating that you're 5 feet away from the guy all the time, then you're not going to be able to take the body.
Yeah.
Right. And,
yeah.
And so that's part of it too. Is just that having guys that with some mobility that are in position to make those kind of plays too.
Right. And when you look at the game on the schedule like this, you know that you're going to have two teams that can skate well and play the game right, with 2 coaches that know how to teach the game right. It's been fun watching this game because the fundamentals are in place.
Yeah, it's been interesting too to see, obviously, an empty net here now for Hill Murray as they bring out the extra attacker. Interesting to see Todd Berglund. Obviously, he's had a lot of hockey experience, but not been a head coach nearly as long. He kind of got the position later in life than some of the other guys, but interesting to see him match wits with some of the guys, the names that you've been hearing for a long time over the years, too. 2 minutes to go. They aim for the empty net, and a near miss. It'll be icing against the Crimson. No, it won't. Hill Murray picking it up. Peterson now will dump it in. as much as Maple Grove is kind of had the better of things for the latter part of the second period and for a lot of the third too, it is still just a one-goal game.
Yeah.
Anything can happen here down the stretch. Ooh, Eischen just kept that one in, but it was blocked. Kyle Kukkonen banking it ahead. Here's a chance at an empty netter here, and this one's successful. Janicki puts it away for Maple Grove, and it's 4-2. So there's that third period goal, although kind of with an asterisk, I suppose you could say, because it's an empty netter. But Janicki, good job by Kukkonen to bank this puck out, because even if at least they got it out and they got it into position to take this shot, you don't gamble by icing the puck or anything there. So
yeah, smart play by Kukkonen there. And then if he did get it and got an opportunity, great. If he missed it, no big deal, and go for an ice. I see Coach Lechner's not looking up here, so that's good. It's not giving us the evil eye. And all that domination we saw in the second period, it almost seemed like Maple Grove was way ahead, and they, remember, good teams don't let it get out of hand. They were only one goal down.
Kostelecki carrying it in, and Keppel's back in goal there and makes the stop. So 4-2 lead now with just over a minute to play here for Maple Grove, trying to win their 13th contest this season.
We were talking during the pregame too about, that Blaine victory where, Maple Grove is coming in with a little bit of a bitter taste in their mouth, and I think they got it washed out pretty good. They, Coach Berglund wanted a consistent game, a good rebound game, and I really think he got it tonight. I thought the Crimson played a really good game. They had about a 5-minute kind of lost their head part of the game, and then they really rebounded well, I thought, in that second period and really dominated. They played a very complete game tonight.
Things get a little rough in front of the Crimson bench. There's Owen Quast throwing a check now. Maple Grove trying to dump the puck in and recovered by Kostelecki, but then back out it'll come. Under 20 seconds to go, so Maple Grove is going to get the W here at Aldrich Arena with a strong performance, as Dan said. Thomas throwing it right back out. And this will be an icing with 2.6 remaining in the contest, and Maple Grove will skate away with the victory here after coming off that 5-3 loss to Blaine. And another one coming up Saturday for the Crimson. They'll be back on home ice as they face Centennial. That's been a great rivalry. Centennial, not quite as good this year as they've been, but still a good one. And then after that, they go to Andover on Saturday, the 2nd of February. And Andover, of course, having a great year, and they beat the Crimson in the first meeting. So, hope you've enjoyed this one here tonight. Maple Grove fans, I think, got to be happy with this one. Just the way their team played, but also, as good of a program as Hill Murray has been, to go on the road and beat them is always a good thing.
Well, yeah, you don't come into Aldrich expecting to win, I'll tell you that. They did a nice, complete game, and you schedule these games, just test yourself against the best, and both these teams got something out of it, and that was a fun game. I'm really, really glad we scheduled this one.
So the final is Maple Grove 4 and Hill Murray 2. Thanks for bearing with me with the tough voice here tonight. Dan Ficken and all of our crew. I'm Jay Wilcox, and Crimson win it by 2.